The United States of America is often seen as a global leader, a champion of democracy, and a defender of reasons to dislike or even despise the USA for its policies, actions, and influence in their regions. Here in this video, we will discuss top 10 countries that hate the USA the most and even have bans on USA passports. Whether you are a fan or a critic of America, you will find this video informative and interesting. So, subscribe to our channel now and hit the bell icon for regular updates. Let's get started. Number 10. North Korea. Talk about a complicated relationship. North Korea's strict regime, led by Kim Jong-un, maintains a notoriously tense relationship with the USA. This stems from historical conflicts and ongoing political disagreements. For Americans, traveling to North Korea is extremely difficult, often requiring special permission, and it's riddled with risks and restrictions. Number 9. Iran. Iran and the USA have had a rocky history, especially since the Iranian Revolution in 1979. Issues like nuclear programs and sanctions have only added fuel to the fire. While there are historical and cultural riches in Iran, American passport holders face significant challenges in visiting, often needing to go through arduous visa processes or facing outright bans. Number 8. Venezuela. Venezuela's relations with the USA are strained, primarily due to political differences and economic sanctions. The country, rich in natural beauty and oil reserves, often portrays the USA negatively in its state media. For American travelers, getting into Venezuela can be a hassle, with strict visa requirements and sometimes a complete ban. Number 7. Cuba. The USA and Cuba have a long history of ups and downs. The iconic Cuban Missile Crisis, the US embargo, and the fluctuating travel policies make this relationship particularly interesting. Although travel restrictions have been eased and then tightened again, American tourists still find ways to explore Cuba's vibrant culture and beautiful landscapes, but it's not always straightforward. Number 6. Syria. The relationship between Syria and the USA is heavily influenced by the Syrian civil war and international politics. The USA's involvement in the conflict and the humanitarian crisis has led to a complicated dynamic for Americans. Traveling to Syria is extremely risky and often discouraged due to safety concerns. Number 5. Somalia. The USA's involvement in Somalia, particularly during the Somali Civil War, has left a complex legacy. The country, while rich in cultural history, remains unstable, and the US government typically advises against travel there due to safety risks. Some of the reasons for the hostility include the US-backed intervention in 1992, the infamous Black Hawk Down incident in 1993, and the ongoing drone strikes against al-Shabaab militants. Number 4. Sudan. Sudan and the USA have had their share of tensions, mainly due to issues related to terrorism and conflicts. The relationship is evolving, but for a long time, American citizens faced strict restrictions when thinking about visiting Sudan. The US imposed sanctions on Sudan in 1997 for its support of terrorist groups, and later accused it of committing genocide in Darfur. The sanctions were lifted in 2017, but Sudan remains on the US list of state sponsors of terrorism. Number 3. Libya. The relationship between Libya and the USA has been turbulent, especially after the 2012 Benghazi attack. The political instability and ongoing conflicts make Libya a challenging destination for American travelers, with many advisories against travel. The US and Libya have had a history of clashes, such as the 1986 bombing of Tripoli, the 1988 Lockerbie bombing, and the 2011 NATO intervention that toppled Muammar Gaddafi. The current situation in Libya is volatile, with rival factions vying for power. Number 2. Afghanistan. The USA's long involvement in Afghanistan has created a complex relationship. While there's a rich cultural history to explore, the security situation remains precarious, and travel for American citizens is highly risky and often discouraged. The US and Afghanistan have been allies and enemies, depending on the context. The US supported the Mujahideen against the Soviet invasion in the 1980s, but later invaded Afghanistan to overthrow the Taliban regime in 2001. The US troops are still present in the country, facing insurgency and violence. Number 1. Yemen. The USA's involvement in Yemen, particularly in the context of the Yemeni civil war and counterterrorism, makes this relationship complicated. The country's rich history and natural beauty contrast sharply with the dangers present, making travel for Americans extremely challenging and risky. The US has been supporting the Saudi-led coalition against the Houthi rebels since 2015, but also conducting drone strikes against Al-Qaeda and ISIS affiliates in Yemen. The humanitarian crisis and the security threats make Yemen one of the worst places to visit for Americans. Remember, these relationships can change, and travel restrictions vary over time. It's always best to check current policies and advisories before planning any travel. That's all for today's video. Remember to hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you at the next one.